The worst part about the honeywagon these days, and this has thankfully been resolved, is the power kept tripping. And people wouldn't reset it. Yeah. So when the power gets tripped in the honeywagon, the ventilation system shuts off. So it's like all that
stank.
That dense stank air just like sits in there and bakes in the Texas heat. And then you would open the door and it would just be fucking nasty.
It's just like you open the door and it's just like, you know, like when you open an oven and it's like that heat wave hits you, but it's like stank wave hits you.
It's like it pushes you back.
Yeah. You fall on the stairs like, but wait.
Did you hear about, it was a few weeks ago, I read some story about, I think it was in Korea or something, I don't know. It was overseas. It was essentially not like a porta potty, but like an outhouse latrine type thing. The kind of place where you're gonna shit in a hole. All right, it was one of those type facilities.
Sure.
And some young attractive girl dropped her cell phone down in the doo-doo hole.
Oh god.
And an upstanding young gentleman was like, "I'll get that for you." Went down into it.
Oh god.
No, he's dead. He suffocated down there, and then a bunch of other people tried to get him out. Like 6 people died because this girl dropped her phone down the shitter.
That's terrible.
That's a horrible. No, it's a fucking terrible way to go. Like I never even once considered that.
Just like poo fumes.
I guess it's like methane, right?
Poo fumes for days, man. You're gone.
I mean, I don't know
about
the
situation.
situation.
No oxygen? Does it just move all the oxygen out of there?
I guess
you might have drop a match first,
like,
and then
burn
then
it all
everyone
out.
dies.
How do you not? Like, I don't want to make fun of the situation, but how do you not cut your losses after like 3 people?
I think,
You know what I mean?
Well, no,
Well, something
they
killed
weren't
the
all
first
for the
3.
phone, Kerry. At one point, it was like we got to go get Chuck out of there.
Yeah, but
that shithead.
at what point?
Pun intended.
But I'm saying,
Like,
well,
there's dead dudes down there.
every time we go down, they die. Let's stop.
like, we've hit the magic 3. Let's all turn back.
Yeah.
We've hit the magic number now.
yeah.
No, the magic number was 6.
Yeah, apparently.
Like we should try something a little different. It's like when the 7th dude's turn to it, like, all right, Steve, you're up. He's like, let's try something different.
No, you know what I think it was? I think
have a
by the
rope?
6th guy, they were just stacked high enough to where they could just now start pulling them out. Was probably
It's
what
like
it
that
was.
scene in Indiana Jones where they're like walking into the cave and like each one is getting messed up in a different way. Like a head rolls out. Then it's Indy's turn.
Yeah, but this time it's just all poop.
Awful.
That's really bad.
That's terrible.
I can't believe
The
that.
honeywagon is a
Woman drops
is a
cell
threat.
phone in toilet. 2 die in rescue. Oh,
There
there's only
was
2.
There was, then I saw
That's
something
not
where it was
nearly
like
as
6
bad.
people died.
Where was it?
It might have
China.
been
I think it says China.
I
In
found
China.
The original,
China.
I found the original link on Reddit, and then the comments was another story where a bunch of people died.
The other video I shared with you guys earlier that I wanted to talk about this week was the one about, what do they call it? Hyperlapse.
Hyperlapse.
Which
We sang a
sounds
song
like a
about it,
terrible sports injury.
Ooh,
It's like someone's
he's
carried out the
down
field
with
with a
hyperlapse.
hyperlapse. But I guess it's this algorithm that a researcher at Microsoft developed in order to time lapse and steady cam like POV type footage.
Yeah, and they're saying
GoPro
like
kinda
GoPro
stuff.
footage is always really long and boring. And he's got a good point. It is.
Yeah.
And sped up, it's so shaky you can't use it.
Yeah.
They have this algorithm that I guess just takes the important parts of images and you end up looking like you have this really, there you go. Right?
Like you're just
really
flying
smooth,
through it.
like fly
It's
through it.
almost
We
like
talked about it's like Google Maps.
It looks
or
like Google Maps
Earth.
and you just like press forward through it all.
And
Yeah.
you can see how there's kind of like weird artifacts in it, I guess, because it's taking information from so many frames.
doing some weird shit.
It's really cool. Though. I love
cool Mac
technology
shit.
for this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like a panoramic photo where it tries to match everything up
Yeah.
and then find, it drops the frames that don't make any sense and
I
just
imagine it looks at like the same information in 2 different frames and then just ditches all the non-important stuff.
Right.
So
Yes,
if Microsoft is doing this, does that mean they're coming up with their own?
Well, the guy, I
Visor
think it's
thing?
like a guy's independent research project, and what he wrote on his website was that he was going to look to develop a Windows phone app that would do that with the camera on Windows phones.
So you
So
just,
it
like,
would-
built in, it would do
Yeah,
that.
it would be just like a mode you could use.
you just like walk around with your phone out, or you like get one of those armband things, just like put it on your head, and just like walk
do
around
this.
like. Ooh.
I mean, it's no different than
like
like
a Saiyan reader.
well, people do that shit all the time with like GoPros now, like
guess it's true,
cyclists and whatnot.
I did that on the Simple Walk.
They should do it with like
We had GoPros on our head.
with endoscopes and stuff.
Just hyperwave through your colon, and here's the cancer.
And-
There's the polyp.
And Gus, it just like comes out of your mouth, like hey.
I'd rather it go the other way.
You
want it up the butt out of your mouth?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like
Dookie on your tongue. Nobody likes that.
no, it'll wipe off by the time you get up there.
It'll
First
stay,
gag by Gavin. Timed at.
it'll stay in your heart somewhere.
Yeah, the stomach acid will just like burn off all the duty.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Just a
Last time I was on the
lovely bunch
podcast,
of
I almost made everybody
individuals.
throw up. So I feel like I have something
That's
to live up to.
right. I remember
It's
that.
like that thing that people post that when you lock lips and kiss someone, you're essentially just 2 anuses in the world.
I've never heard that before.
It's like it's just 2 anuses that are
It's like some
sealed.
fucked up spore creation.
Creature created.
You never heard that? I feel like I see that. I see that all the time on Reddit.
That would be like an amazing Hallmark card.
I love making a poop tube with you.
I want to be a conjoined anus with you.
Oh God.
That makes me feel weird.
Yeah.
The body's a weird thing. Like when you think about it, it's like essentially it's just two holes for the most part. It's like you get air in and you like get rid of shit literally on the other end. Like
sometimes air.
Sometimes air.
Yeah.
Like anytime, like we have a coffee machine in my office for the one I showed with Barbara, but we don't have any way to fill it with water. So usually like every other morning I have to go to the kitchen, I get like a giant glass of water and I fill the coffee machine.
Right.
And every time I fill that glass of water in the kitchen, as I'm taking it to my office, I think, I'm going to take this out of my office as pee. It's like you bring the water in, you make the coffee, then you have to take it out and go to the bathroom and you piss it out. It's like the only way this water is getting out is when I go to the bathroom.
It's true. It's weird how like stuff gets converted that way. I recently got a kitten. It was very small. It was about this big, and so far we've only bought it one bag of cat food. Like hasn't finished its first bag yet.
Shit.
And I basically watched this bag of cat food reduce and my cat get bigger. It's just like I've just been.
It's like a 1-to-1 correlation.
It's like
of,
my cat is now this big and the bag is this big. It's just weird to see that
the cat and all the shit. If you'd saved all the shit, you'd be like, that bag became the shit and this bigger cat.
It's weird. It became my cat.
So when you have the empty bag, you can just fill that bag with poop from the next one, and then put the cat in there, and you can see how much. You can do like a science experiment to see like how much of the food came out.
Right, like what percentage of food is absorbed and creates cat versus creates poop.
This goes back to like the weight of the
We should have done this.
Yeah.
This is a great science experiment.
To see if it weighed the exact same.
Well, like to see what percent gets converted to cat. And what percent gets converted to poop.
There's that thing about like weighing your poops.
But there would be loss, wouldn't there? Like smell
of course.
loss.
And like and just other
Did you say
loss.
smell loss?
Yeah, well, because if you could smell it, it's losing particles, right?
I guess that's true. Yeah, that's fecal particles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like in
Little bit
this
of
case,
feek.
food particles.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's what you meant, right? That you're losing pieces of food.
How much is that going to weigh
poo.
though? Like.
No, like you can smell the food, so you're losing food particles also, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Oh, wait.
I guess it's true,
I never
yeah.
thought about that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, if you think about shit,
if you lose them in your nose, they're back in circulation.
It's true.
Got it anyway.
Yeah, especially if you swallow your boogies. Back to last episode.
you
By
don't
the
have
way,
to
I
keep bringing
realized
that
I'm a
back.
fucking idiot when you were talking about how this water is going to become pee. I thought you meant that you were pretending that you fed the coffee machine water and then it peed out coffee and you drank the coffee pee.
You need some sleep.
Yeah, you do need some sleep, or you need less moonshine.
I haven't had that much. I'm gonna here. I'll do that.
When I was in
don't.
when I was in high school, I got sent home because I had to shave. Like I guess I'd never shaved before, and
You got sent home?
Yeah, and oh no, I take it back. I take it back.
You're looking far too mature for your age.
They said that they stopped me at the office and they said, you need to go shave.
Is it because you look
What?
dirty?
Listen, ugly. All right.
So they said go to the vice principal's office. There's a razor in there and you can shave. So I walked into the vice principal's office and it was like a used disposable razor
Fuck that.
was sitting on the edge of the counter of the sink. And they were like, all right, just shave with that and then you can go to class. I was like, I'm not gonna fucking use this. Like it looked like it had been there since my dad was in high school,
Wait, your dad's like, oh, my old razor.
So I was like, fuck that. So I just left. Like I just walked home. I lived like half a mile away from school. I just walked home and I remember my dad was asleep. He worked nights. I was like, hey, Dad, can I take one of your razors? He's like, what? Yeah, fucking go ahead.
So you shaved and then went back to school?
Yeah, so I shaved and then walked back to
Nowadays
school.
it'd be like assistant principal fired, left deadly razor within 500 yards of a child.
Were you
Health
just
and
not
safety is
allowed facial hair in your school?
No, absolutely not.
Really?
Yeah.
My kid in like
have, like,
freshman year of high
guess-
school had like a full beard.
Were you
Wow.
pubic before a lot of your friends?
Before, I don't know if I was pubic before my. Do you know when your friends got pubes?
I mean, you could tell.
How?
Well, puberty. You
They'd
can tell
show
when
'em.
someone's
You
like,
get that.
oh,
You get that nasty pedostache.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
the
just
fuzz.
got mine.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you said. I thought you meant did I get pubic hairs before?
No, I just mean, did you hit puberty?
Did
That's
I
what
hit-
most people say.
They're probably about the same time.
Bro, you got pubic last night.
Yeah, how you feel? What's your pubic scale at right now?
First
you
time
had
I
like an
shaved
8?
was
Are
a
you
fucking
pubic yet?
nightmare.
What about you?
What was the question?
When'd you get pubic, asshole?
Oh, yeah, well, it doesn't matter for me because I wasn't sent home with facial hair.
Well,
was I?
like that wasn't until I think I was a sophomore when that happened. But like I had peach fuzz forever. Like
Yeah.
it just wasn't very thick, and now I've got this fucking
Yeah, I feel like
monstrosity.
I had
Like,
bugger all for ages. I had like a lot of fuzz for a while here, and then it was just like, and it all came in at once.
My
beards,
facial
right?
hair is so coarse that I have to throw away my bed sheets and my blankets every so often because at night, like just moving my face across it frays the shit out of my blankets.
I feel your pain, man.
Yeah, it's
I've ruined.
It took me a while to figure it out. I was like, why is my side of the bed? Why are the sheets always like sanded down to shit, and my wife's like, fine. It's just my face at night.
You have sweat that dissolves metal and facial hair that dissolves cloth.
You're just an abrasive person in general. Apparently.
Yeah,
personality-wise too.
I think you could escape jail with no tools.
I just at night, I just go up to the bars like, is anyone looking?
Your inmate wakes up. What are you doing?
Like, I've got two bars in my hands, and like I'm gonna get out one way or
Just
another.
like fucking motorboating, basically.
Not a good look for you when you're in prison, by the way.
Yeah.
Man, that guy can motorboat.
Yeah.
Dibs.
You want me to tell a girl story?
Yeah. Oh,
Please
yeah.
do.
This is happening.
When I lived by myself years ago, this was I used to live up north in an apartment by the Arboretum before Rooster Teeth.
Yeah.
And I lived by myself in this pretty big 1-bedroom apartment that was it was carpeted, and I was.
That sounds important.
This is going to be important later.
Oh God.
Jesus.
I went to the bathroom and I was dropping a deuce. And my cell phone rang. I was like, "Fuck!" It was before smartphones, so it's like I left my cell phone in the other room.
Right.
It's like, oh,
Sidekick.
I should go get it. So like, but I'm taking a shit. So I was like, well, I don't want to get up. So I start waddling, like kind of squatting with my pants around my ankles to go get my cell phone. Get my cell phone. I was like, oh, it's my mom. I'll call her back. Put the cell phone down, like waddle back to the toilet, finish up there, and then I walk out. And I look down on the carpet. I'm like, oh, I dropped a nugget. Like right on the carpet in the hallway between the bathroom and the living room. And then I'm looking at it and I'm like, how am I going to clean that? It's like, because if you wipe it, it's just going to smear into the carpet. It's like you have to it's like a crane operation.
Yeah, you have
to very precisely grab it.
Dude, get a vacuum and just like...
and like go flush it and then like try to literally wipe the shit out without smearing it everywhere.
I was assuming you didn't get your deposit back.
It was not a very big nugget, but still, it was.
You described it as a nugget, so
It was enough to worry about.
Yeah, I'm thinking like McDonald's size at best.
It all depends on the consistency, really, where you go from.
Yeah. It's good that it was solid.
Yeah, at least it was solid.
Jesus Christ. So my dog.
I was hoping you were thinking, and then the Roomba came by.
So my little puppy Watson.
I used to have this other dog years ago, and he would like some dogs, right? Like he had this stuffed animal that he liked humping, and there was it was like a little it was a little cheerleader Hello Kitty doll. And Kara says she has it, and he would hump it. And I'd be like, and then one time it was like he was humping it, and then like he stopped, and I was like, oh my god, his dick is stuck in the doll or something. And the dog was just looking at me, and that was so funny. I took a picture with my phone, and I was like, oh man, that's fucked up. His dick is stuck. Like he needs help.
You sick bastard.
Yeah, I had to go help him.
He's probably just like, you took a fucking photo? Really?
Was it all swollen?
No. But I was like, I felt so guilty. I was like, why was my first inclination to take a picture and not help my dog?
Is anything like us?
I have a hypothetical situation for you guys.
I love hypothetical
these.
situations.
Okay.
They're my favorite.
Say there was one guy who took $1 from every person in America. So he'd be all of a sudden worth like $300 and whatever million. And everyone could get their dollar back if they sent in, like they filled out a form and sent it in.
Right.
Would you do it?
Would
you get
be
your
the
dollar
guy?
back? You've had $1 taken from you, and now a guy is worth $300 million.
Would I fill out a form to get my $1 back?
Yeah.
Like to take it from him.
Like, would you do it just for the principle of like, he doesn't get my dollar?
I don't care. It's $1.
So you would be happy that this guy's all of a sudden worth $300 million?
I don't care. Like, I don't know that I would have given the $1 in the first place. Like, at the beginning.
That you had to. It's like a
stolen
government
it.
thing.
Like a government. Yeah.
You took from your taxes.
The government steals my money all the time.
One of the first like prolonged interactions I had with you guys was before Fan Expo 2011. We were gonna go get me a passport, and yeah, I was in the car with you, and I'm like, all right, first time with one of the main Rooster Teeth guys. It's probably gonna take a while. Shit. All right, let's go over your small talk game. And like the first thing I said, I'm like, so Gus, how do you feel about hypothetical questions? And you just go, I hate them. And I was like, all right. I just didn't know what to say for like the rest of the car.
I remember that.
I think the next thing I said was like, so you like rap? It's like the only other thing I could comment on.
girl talk?
I was like, so this is the next few minutes of my life. Fucking cool, Gus.
Well, at least you didn't talk about the weather.
Did I
My
ever tell
interconnection's
you about
really
the
slow.
first time I looked at porn? I think it was on Sponsor Play when I talked about it. I was at I think it was in like 4th or 5th grade, And at that time, I hung out with the wrong crowd. They sometimes skip school. And
Did they do drugs?
No.
Did they
but
smoke
they talked
marijuana
about
cigarettes?
maybe finding a marijuana cigarette one time and how they know what it smells like. Yeah, so we were at my friend's house. We'll call him Chris. And because that's his name.
I thought you were going for Damaris.
No, I could not imagine watching porn with Chris Damaris. Just like, don't look away for this part.
This is the best part.
Oh, so we were all upstairs, and it started off like we were playing like Carmen Sandiego or something like that. And at one point,
That's how it always starts.
Yeah.
where in the world is this bitch?
She got some cleavage.
But at one point, one of the guys I was hanging out with was like, "Hey, you guys want to see some naked girls?" And we're like, "Ooh, no way!" And he's like, "Yeah, look, you can just find this stuff online." We're like, "What?" So we just like Ask Jeeves boobies or Yahoo'd it or whatever, and open up Netscape, and
You know how like whenever you ask Jeeves, he comes back and like the butler's there, and he's like,
I love the
I can
butler.
imagine him being like,
Here's your filth.
He's wearing like a glove.
The first time I used Ask Jeeves, because in the commercial they when it first got started, they would show like him as an actual butler, and like the person would be like, "Excuse me, Jeeves, where could I perchance find pornography?" Whatever.
the titties.
The first time I used it, I was like, "Jeeves, comma, I would like to."
It's like fucking Iron Man. Jarvis, show me some tits.
now.
Seeing up.
So we just started. We were just looking
Different
at
movies.
like just gifts of girls and shit. And we were like in 5th grade, so we were just like, ooh, like making a big racket, jumping them down, like, oh wow, I don't know, whatever. We were just like, boobs, woo.
All of your little jimmies were feeling weird.
Yeah, we were like, whoa, this is weird.
Your jimmies were rustled.
I wish you guys weren't here. But at one point we hear like dum 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 dum, like his dad's coming upstairs, and we fucking panicked. What? Oh,
Jeeves, bail!
Jeeves, get the shit out of here! You built it, sir.
Jeeves, you take the fall for this. This is your doing.
He opens the door. Jeeves like, pardon me, sir. Let me apologize.
I wish to show them some porn.
So we immediately X out of the site we're looking at, but little we know about the pop-up situation. Now we've got like 50 things. We're just like, fucking find the X. It's like, where's Waldo? Let's just do this shit.
Live Jasmine.
We close out of all of it, and his father, sorry. At one point, I was like, we're not going to make it. So I wanted to just say, fuck you guys. I'm going to bail on this. So
Just pick up a Game
I
Boy.
instinctively pressed myself up against the wall behind where, like, when he'd opened the door would be covering me. Like, he didn't know I was in his house.
That never worked. Has that ever worked in real
No,
life?
it absolutely didn't work. He was like, hey, where's your... Moves the door. What the fuck are you doing?
Get out of here, you fucking weird kid.
You jerking off back there? What are you doing?
So I pressed myself up against the wall, and he opens the door.
Did he like put it into a boner?
They married.
The doorknob just like bam.
It's like the little
Knobs
door
hitting
stopper
knobs.
Yeah, the door stopper's a little bit closer than usually. It's a little bit higher up the door as well.
So he comes in and finds like 5 kids just staring at a desktop wallpaper. And it was just like deer in the headlights. We're all just quiet, just like, who's gonna make the first move? And he goes, why are you making so much noise? And everyone's just quiet and looking to each other. And I'm just like, well, you see, sir, we found a website where people are putting up codes for Pokemon, and
Nice.
we just can't believe they're giving it away for free. It's hilarious. They could be making so much money off of this. And I'm like, please. And they're like, oh yeah, that was it. And he's like, Kyle pointed out, he goes, it was just enough like kid stuff that he didn't know. Like, he was like, what the fuck is a Pokemon? I don't know how true this is. So he's like, okay, well, keep it down, and close the door. And we're like, oh, nice save, Miles. Yeah, I'd get you a marijuana if I found one. And then when we went home, he checked the web browser, and we all got in trouble.
There you go. I'll do it.
He was like,
That's why I learned about web history.
What's a Pokemon code?
Pokemon have boobs.
Types in P, finds pornography.
So
He's
someone.
like, that's a big word for a 4th grader.
So we're saying about the dude who spotted you or corrected you?
I wasn't here for this. You should tell the story.
You weren't? No, yeah, you were.
No,
weren't you?
that-
All right,
was-
just someone tell the fucking story.
All right. So this big rip dude comes up to us.
Man,
he's
do you
like,
want to hypothetically tell you? Jesus Christ.
so he comes up to us, he's like, yo, dude, hey, let me step in here. You're doing this wrong. All right, look. And he does this thing where, like, it's like he was about to tell a racist joke. Like, he checked over one shoulder, checked over the other shoulder. He goes, got to do it like you're fucking the bitch. And we're like, oh, okay. He goes, first you squat like you're going to take a dump. You pull
like
it
you
up.
fucking bitch.
He goes, first you squat like you're going to take a dump. Then you pull it up and bam. like you fucking a bitch. You just pelvic thrust that shit, and that's how you do it. You just take a shit, fuck a bitch, take a shit.
God, it's like
fuck a bitch, and we're like. Sure, yeah.
Yes,
and
sir.
And he's like, give it a shot. And I grab it. He goes, yeah, first you take a shit. And I'm like, please don't.
you're doing it like this. It's like
now you fuck that bitch. I'm like, I'm fucking that bitch. Yeah.
It looks
Right
like
in the
you're,
shitter, am I right?
Way better.
it looks like you're rowing. I can imagine like a bunch of people in a rowing boat. You know, like when they were doing the chants to stay in times, like take a shit.
Fuck a bitch.
They're like, no, fucking fuck her. Yeah.
God. And that's what the gym would sound like in sweats were out.
It's just the lights off gym. You're just hearing, yeah, fuck her.
You think that's going through everyone's?
shit.
You think he's taught everyone to do that?
Yeah.
Not like every person in that gym that goes through their head.
I can only hope so because my form is flawless now.
It's really good for your back.
He was
A
like
lot
my
of
favorite
people.
person that we met.
A lot of people shit themselves while they lift weights, don't they? Happens a lot.
What would you consider to be a lot of people?
I just heard it happens a lot.
would
Or
you
like some
consider to be
people
shit?
shit their assholes out.
Yeah, that prolapsing.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
That was like
you
I
can,
think
you
that was
can,
like the
you can
first
strengthen every muscle in your body
except for your butthole.
that one.
Yeah, I think that was like the first gross video I ever saw on the internet. Was a dude who was like doing like a deadlift and his like butthole just came out.
What do you mean?
Like a prolapse. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
well, how was that on video? Were they filming his ass?
They were filming it because it was like he was like trying
Yeah.
to break a record or something. Or
Do you
he was
see
just
his
like,
ass come out?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you see though?
Like
imagine
his
it
ass
looks like
turns
it-
inside out.
I imagine it looks
That's what
like
you're
those,
just-
those things from Half-Life 2 that like
Yeah.
leave their tongue out.
Oh god!
and then when you kill them, they're like,
And let his skulls come out.
that's
I
what
feel
I
like-
imagine it
I
looks like.
feel like I told this story. I can't remember. That happened to my cat once.
Your cat was lifting it.
So like I come home. This is like okay. I got cats when I was in like fifth grade, and I came home like maybe like seventh or eighth grade, and my mom was like, "So I had to call the vet today," and I was like, "What the fuck happened?" And she was like, "The cat's butt fell out," and I was like, "What?"
Carrie, you need to sit down. I need to have a conversation.
No,
with
it wasn't like that kind of
it wasn't
thing.
don't sit down too hard.
I don't know how she
Keep
worded
your
it,
butt in you.
but apparently,
She didn't word it like a for a kid. Like, oh, your cat's
Well,
butt went
no,
to stay
I mean,
on a
I was
farm
like-
for a while.
the cat was still like the butt was fine, but apparently like the cat did its business and did it too hard.
Yeah.
So it walked out and it was like hanging out. So she had to call the vet, and apparently she had to like dab it with like a cold
Q-tip?
yeah, sure cotton ball, like a cold cotton ball, and then it'll just like suck back up.
Well, now, if
This
you ever-
continues
if-
my trend of like
you ever-
How
freaking
does a
everybody
cat blow
out.
out its O-ring?
If you ever encounter this in real life, you'll be like, I know what to
Yeah.
do. Does
Just
anyone have a cold cotton ball?
Just dip it in a cotton ball, man.
I want to refrigerate some wet cotton ball just in case.
Just in
now.
case,
for,
like,
for me, not
have
the
it
cat.
ready, yeah.
Just
Yeah.
tease it back up in there.
It just happens sometimes, man.
Could you get an ice cube, or is that like too cold?
That's
It's like,
probably too cold.
It would suck if it was in the clumping litter as well, because it would just be like all over it.
Why is
Your
the cat?
cat ever comes running out of the litter box with something trailing?
Yeah.
behind
Like a
it?
Christmas bauble hanging out between his legs.
Jesus.
A what?
Like a bauble.
A bauble?
A bubble.
Bauble.
You're putting some R's in there.
Like a decoration? Like a...
B-
B-A-U-B-L-E.
Yeah.
Well, hang on. You two spelled it differently. How did
B-
you spell it?
B-A-U-B-L-E?
Okay, never mind,
B-A-U-B-L-E.
good. All right.
It's,
bauble.
what do you call it? The Christmas sphere of
Or
glass.
Christmas
I call
ornament.
it
An ornament.
An ornament. Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. It's a Christmas
A
ornament.
bauble is an
Fucking
ornament.
writer over here doesn't know what a bobble is and can't remember the word ornament.
Dude, I can't. If I spell lieutenant correctly, it's gonna be a good day. Like,
So,
Can you spell hemorrhage? That's always a hard one for me.
Jesus. H-E-M-O-R-R-A-G-E.
You missed another H.
Yeah.
There's a
Oh, yeah,
secret
yeah.
second
also,
H.
why
in
do you have to spell hemorrhage so much?
there. Scrabble?